Welcome everyone. Welcome to Northern Waters. We are playing Domination. We are playing World of Warships Legends. Just in case you didn't know what you clicked on. I am Phoenix61. Please like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm an itty bitty YouTuber and have no other life. We are in the Tier 5 Fubuki. This is the Japanese destroyer along the regular tech tree for destroyers. And it's the best ship in the game. No doubt. Hands down. I'm just kidding. It's all opinions. It's all opinions. But for a Tier 5 destroyer, especially if you're trying to be a sneaky torpedo-y kind of destroyer, this one's really awesome. There might be somebody better. I don't know. But this is the one I have the most fun with. So, I always complain about starting in the middle, but we started in the middle. I don't mind too much when I'm a destroyer, when we're in the middle spawn point. And it's always freaking circumstantial with this game, right? But like, you know, instead of breaking off to Zone A or Zone C, I decided to go up the middle. And that actually worked out for us because it looked like the planes were over there by C, so hopefully we don't get spotted by airplanes, which is always a big frustration as a destroyer player, right? So we are eyeing up targets at this point and just kind of trying to see and gauge where enemy ships are going at the moment. And an easy way to do that is to lock on to them while you have torpedoes selected, because then you can see, gives you a good idea of what their speed and heading is, right? It helps you out quite a bit. So, you know, obviously these guys are behind the island, so don't shoot at the island. That doesn't work. I've tried. And then, of course, as a destroyer, cruisers are kind of your biggest threat. So we've got some cruisers off to the left here. We spot another destroyer. This is a German Tier 5. I think a lot of the German destroyers have sonar, so they're tougher to hit with torpedoes, right? So he's going to sit in his smoke screen. And I'm going to continue backing up. So where he spotted me, he doesn't see me right now. So he's out of his smoke screen, and it looks like our airplanes are what's keeping him spotted. So we're getting free shots on him right now, where we are not vulnerable because we're not spotted. But I continued to back up. I assumed he would shoot torpedoes in my direction when he spotted me for that, you know, those 10 seconds or so. So I will wait patiently, and sometimes I do not wait patiently enough. And I start moving, and then torpedoes come, you know, right into me. So I'm gonna just chill for a minute and decide our next move here. We've got our smoke screen. We spread it out enough. You know, if he sends torpedoes into it, they're probably gonna go in front of me there, right? But it looks like we've got some battleship action on this other side. The other thing I like about with this ship too, you get 3 launchers of 3, and so a lot of times I'll just hang on to one torpedo rack, right? Like send 2, and then, you know, keep one in the reserve tank for in case a destroyer suddenly invades your smoke screen, or, you know, whatever. Another thing too, the other smart thing with you know, when you're dealing with torpedoes is if you flood a ship, you can only have like 1 flood on them at a time, right? But that'll trigger anybody to use their damage control. And so then if you have another rack that you've sent, you know, even just, you know, 20 or 30 seconds later, a lot of times they won't have that damage control ready yet, and then you'll get a lot of flood damage, which we love as destroyers, right? So it looked like we got a hit, 2 hits on the battleship, 3 hits on that battleship over there. So he did us a favor and turned away in line with our torpedoes. Lining this guy up. The other thing too, some of these ships I think are a little bit unsuspecting. The range on the Fubuki is really, really great, especially at Tier 5. I think you start at like 10 kilometers, and then depending on what you do to your commander, you can stretch that a little more. I think what I did with this commander, and we'll go through how I have the commander and ship set up at the end of the video here, but I think the way I've staged this commander, set them up, whatever you want to call it, outfitted, whatever, is mostly for torpedo damage, torpedo speed. If they're going faster, they're harder to dodge, right? And then reload is kind of like where I prioritize. Like 10 kilometers is already great range, and sometimes I'm just kind of like, you know what, if if I'm not going to hit him in 10 kilometers, I'm not going to hit him in 11, you know? Like, that just leaves more room for ships to change directions, right? That's all that much more, you know, more range doesn't necessarily always better, because it's more time those torpedoes are in the water, and it's more time for things to change, and the, you know, the ship that you're firing at, it's more time for them to change trajectory, or their, like, path. Even without them knowing there's torpedoes coming towards you, right? So they're more likely to get lucky to just their general movements be out of the way of torpedoes. So this Ranger's not moving, so we are taking full advantage of that, as you can see, and just lining them up. Man, if you are newish, or even if you, man, if you play carriers, you can autopilot your carrier. You can go to the mini-map, go to the map menu, and hold X on the quadrant you want. Yeah, I'm on it, buddy. He's dead. Go to the map and hold X on the quadrant you want your carrier to go to. It will automatically go there. Like, don't just leave them. And also, don't just back up either. Like, so if I was that guy, once I knew I was spotted, and especially once I knew this Zone B was getting captured, I would have been moving my carrier using the minimap. Or at least, at minimum, hitting reverse on it so it would move backwards. But I kind of am annoyed by, I mean, it's fine when it's the other team, right? But I'm annoyed when the carrier on my team just hits full reverse right at the beginning of the game and just chills in the back of the map, right? Like, yeah, that's safe for you don't get sunk, but your planes take that much longer to get back into the fight and help out, right? So that's why I dislike that. But obviously, yes, don't, you know, move your ship around, but try not to get spotted. Try to be safe, right? But yeah, we just took full advantage of that. And honestly, that's probably where most of our damage comes from in this game, right? This easy shot, this luck shot we get on, not luck shot, but like easy shot that we get on this carrier just because we were lucky, because we got somebody who just left it sit there, right? So I will move in towards the C cap and see what sort of opportunities present themselves to us here, right? But just sort of taking torpedo shots here and there, like this. So I imagine this battleship is probably, you know, sort of angling away and running away. He realizes, like, you know, my team probably lost. So I sent those on the same trajectory, and then here for this New Mexico, you know, obviously just keep an eye on the islands. There's a bunch of islands in here, so like don't send your torpedoes into the island just because the trajectory says to, right? And yeah, this guy is maintaining course. I foresee another kill in our future here. But yeah, he wasn't, I think he's not completely unaware that we were here sending torpedoes his direction too, right? So I decided to fire my guns just to get some extra hits on him. I really wasn't in a spot where I'm too threatened. This cruiser over here is probably our biggest threat at the moment, and I don't even think he's looking at us either. So, you know what? YOLO, if he's not going to look this way, we're going to shoot at him too. We'll take what we can get, right? If he's going to give us freebie shots. And you know, this is all, like, since it's so much later in the game and I know exactly where all three ships are, that's why I'm doing this. You know, if there was another, well, actually I don't. There is a destroyer, but he's out of our range. But, you know, if it's early in the game and I'm in enemy territory, if I'm in enemy territory, I am not firing my guns willy-nilly like that. I want to try and stay unspotted, especially when you're in this type of destroyer outfitted this way, right? So this New Mexico looks like he's on fire or flooding or something, probably. But we will fire here. So I'm looking at the mini-map as I fire these, and I can see that he is, you know, closer to me than that island, right? So I did fire those towards that island. You also kind of have to think, like, okay, he's going to have to turn that way or stop, right? So that's kind of why I fired one rack of torpedoes in front of him, and then one kind of right at the island, and then, of course, he died anyway, so nothing mattered, right? So one guy left, and he is in this smoke screen that I can see out there. I'm pretty sure my entire team knows exactly where he is, because that's where he was last spotted. But since I saw the smoke screen, that's why I went into the map and called out the zone, like the good little boy that I am. The other thing too, so like looking at the mini map and then highlighting it on a spot there too is, you you know, and then when I come out of the out of the map view, you can see your call out on the mini map in the top left, right? And so then you can kind of use that to gauge whether your torpedoes would be in range or not. So I do that frequently as well, just to be able to see, you know, am I within firing range? Because you can't lock onto him, so you know, having your torpedoes selected, you know, doesn't tell you whether he's in or out of range yet, right? So I just dumped everything because I know this is going to come down to luck. Because the second he gets spotted, everyone is going to shoot him because he is the only ship left to be shot, right? Yep. So we did not get that kill, but that was a fun game. I feel like we accomplished a lot. Got some zones, got some kills. We participated, participation award. But yeah, so just the hits, the torpedo hits, the gun hits, the zone caps. These are all things that earned us a lot of XP in this game, right? So that put us at the top of the leaderboard, even though it didn't seem like we did too crazy amount of damage or anything. But 3,000 XP, honestly, XP is really what you want to go for if you're trying to play this game and say I did the best or whatever. So this is really Tanaka, but I've got the a Commander Geist on here, right? So that's why I went into that screen. But you can see, yeah, torpedo speed. I need to upgrade that thing. Detectability and torpedo damage. And then of course the base trait for this guy, for Tanaka, is more torpedo damage. And then the very first perk here also, oh no, this is speed and reload. See detectability range, launcher reload time. I went smokescreen would be good here too, but I went with speed. And then I can't not use the this legendary perk, right? So thanks for watching. More World of Warships videos are in the works, guys, so stay tuned, make sure to subscribe and like my videos and blah blah blah.